Hey everyone, this is Juno with Detour Shirts, the channel all about helping you design and sell t-shirts online. In this video, we're going to look at the best sellers and trending t-shirts on RedBubble. Let's go. So here we are on RedBubble. So when you're on RedBubble and you're signed in, what it does is it shows you things that are for you. You can see right here it says Explore for you. So yours would look a little different. This is mine because I signed in, and these are some of the things that I've recently viewed and the designs that they think or RedBubble thinks that I like here. If we scroll down, you'll see other things, masks and things. So what we want to look at today is clothing, but more specifically, when I click on here, t-shirts. So let's scroll down to t-shirts here. And you'll see here, it says t-shirts. We're going to scroll down a little bit. They have men and women's and men's t-shirts. And this is really important here, shop by theme. So the themes that RedBubble thinks that people like when they're on their shop are these. Music. So you can see all these music things, probably lyrics. This is cassette tapes. These are, other things here. Movies is the second one they think is very popular. So you can see all these movies. Themes. And they're not as concerned like merch by Amazon is for copyright infringement, trademark kind of things. You can see they're a little more lenient. They have The Big Lebowski here. This is Good, Bad, and Ugly. Some of these things they do actually have the rights to, so there's some of that. Sports here. You can see some sports t-shirts. Games. Funny. So some of these are just text shirts. Vintage. This is really popular, and we'll see this later on. Cool. What they think is cool. They are pretty cool there. And animals. So they sell a lot of animal t-shirts, and we'll look at that too. I think some of the big ones you'll see again as we look more into what's the best sellers and what's the trending. So scroll down here. It says unique t-shirts designed by artists, so that's very important as well. So that RedBubble is a place where artists, very good artists, actually, they do a lot of designs by really good artists. So if you can't do great art, this may be very hard. It's not like you can't make sales here, but you're competing with some really good artists. So that's what they're saying right here. And this right here is best-selling t-shirts. There's a few here. You can go through it. Like again, see, these are some of the vintage and things that we saw up above. Animals. I'm going to scroll here. You'll see again animals and just a lot of nice artwork here. So, and then we can click this to see all. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to show us all the best-selling. So I'm going to click that. So here we are on the best-selling t-shirts page. You can see up here in the URL, bestseller, best t-shirts. So these are, according to RedBubble, the best sellers or the best-selling shirts. Just take a look at some of these right now. You can see very good artwork. Got some vintage stuff. Remember the categories we were looking at before: music, movies, sports, games, funny, vintage, cool, and animals. Well, you can see it here. Animals, funny, vintage, animals again. So you'll notice a kind of a theme of those. They know, they've done the research, and so they've seen what sells on there. And you can see every once in a while there'll be some just text shirts, and they do well, but not as well overall. If you see, we're going to scroll down here. For the most part, it's artwork, and it's really nice artwork by designers, right? So look at some of these different types of artwork. I mean, some are watercolors, some are cartoon, some are some of these. So but they all kind of have some, at least one of those qualities that they had before, either music, movies, sports, games, funny. A lot of them are funny, and a lot of them are animals or vintage. So I noticed also, and it wasn't in one of the categories, but you notice a lot of the kind of a Japanese, Asian style. So we got here, let me scroll up again. So we got this here. It's like Japanese here. Let's see. Got some vintage here, music here. You know, another vintage here. So these are here, you know, ramen, Asian, Tokyo, Asian. This is from a movie. So Hattori Hanzo, I think that's from Kill Bill. So again, Asian here. So just look at this. This is your competition. These are the kinds of things, these are the kinds of designs that are selling on Redbubble. So just so you know that. Again, sometimes, you know, just text works, but this is funny stuff here. So, so let me show you another thing. Here are some subcategories. Again, more than the 8 that we saw earlier. There are some of them. This music again, so they broke it down into band, and then there's movies again, superhero, sports again, games again, occupations this time, hobbies, anime, and the list goes on here as you scroll. So think about these topics if you're going to design for Redbubble. You probably want some of your ideas or your artwork, t-shirt designs to fall into these categories. Along with best-selling, they also have these other things. So most relevant, let's just start at the beginning. Most relevant, let's wait for it to turn. Now, most relevant is depending on you and your searches. So this is most relevant to me since I was looking up some of these things. I just recently looked at some of the best-selling things, so now it's showing me these are also best-selling things, right? So depending on your searches, your recent searches, that's what's most relevant. So Redbubble will keep track of what you like and try to show you what's most relevant to you. The next thing is trending. Let's wait for that to load. So trending here, what that means to me is these are selling currently. They're recent sales. You'll notice also though, there like maybe only three or four different sellers here. So look at this. Illustrata Design, Stephen Rhoads, Illustrata Design, Stephen Rhoads, Illustrata Design. This one's a different one. The Paper Crane, he might show up again, but Stephen Rhoads, Illustrata Design. So these guys are selling a lot of shirts, right? There's again, Illustrata. Here comes Paper Crane again. ND Tank, we didn't see that one before up there, but Stephen Rhoads and Illustrata Design and the Paper Crane. So let's look at those 3 different types of styles. I'm gonna click on Illustrata Design or this design and open it up in a new tab just to see kind of his artwork style. You can kind of see it. It has a kind of a Japanese idea, the writing styles and this wave, and so if we look into his stuff, so he's definitely got a type. It's got this vintage look, so that's selling really well for him or her. I don't know who's this person. And you can see what they're selling. So this is the kind of stuff that's doing really well on Redbubble. So let's go look at another one. Stephen Rhoads. Let's click on him, open a new tab. So this is research, guys. So just looking at kind of the styles that are selling. Now we don't want to copy these, but just to get inspiration, right? To see like vintage stuff. You notice his theme is kind of like a vintage theme with these illustrations and the vintage colors. So vintage does really well on RedBubble. And then if we go back and see this one, the paper crane, let me open that. Open a new window. Oh, I did new window instead of tab, but that's okay. Paper crane. So he's got this more minimalistic style with straight lines. So you'll see here, kind of like that. And this does really well too on RedBubble. So still different styles, very nice artwork, all of them. Colors, so you got to think about what you're doing. But like some of these things don't even have words, right? This is just art. So in his case, you can see here. So again, don't copy, but be inspired by thinking like you could do art in a style like this, or a vintage style like this, or maybe a more minimalistic with the colors. So that's what's selling or trending right now anyway for RedBubble. And the newest here, let's wait for that to load. So these are just the newest things that are being added to RedBubble, not necessarily the things that are selling, but you can see other people, what other people are doing to get kind of get ideas, and maybe there are some new trends that pop up here because they're new. So keep an eye on that. So that's it. Most relevant, trending, newest, and best selling. So that's kind of how you find out what the competition is doing and what people are selling on RedBubble. And you might want to look at these to kind of figure out what's selling. Again, maybe do in one of those topics that we saw. We see a lot of music inspired, a lot of movie inspired, sports, games, lots of funny designs. Like so funny is a good topic. I notice a lot of funny vintage animals. You want to kind of keep into that. Here's a cat, here's a fox, there's a dog. So you can see a lot of those topics here. So if you're going to sell, it's a lot different audience than Merch by Amazon. RedBubble has their own audience, so does all of the other pods, but I just wanted to show you what is the best selling things here on RedBubble so that you can design your own things and be selling on RedBubble and maybe get a few sales. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope that was really helpful to you. Please leave a comment of what you would like to see in the next videos that I'll make, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification button if you want to be notified on my next videos. Until next time, guys, keep creating and keep making new t-shirts and stuff. So that's it. Till next time. Bye.